you think it's so important to convince everyone else that you're not boring, but it's making me feel like my skin is crawling. When I don't even see eye to eye with, I don't mind if you don't have it all together. Yeah, I get it, we're all human, but I give you an inch and you take miles. It's tragic, ruining my sanity with tales of animosity. I'd rather cry than let you. I swear I might die if I cared more, but you're not worth the time. You never put me up front, 'cause it's your spotlight. I'm in the backseat of my own car. I'd rather cry than let you drive me crazy one more night. Climbing up somebody else's ladder just to make yourself feel just a little bigger. I don't. It's so hard to comprehend how you don't even understand. Stepping on me without even trying. Never seen somebody get so good at lying. It's impressive you don't spend all your time crying over.
So I did a summer grocery haul, and this was just from Sam's Club. We are on a pretty tight budget for June. My husband had to get some short-term disability pay, and that has not come in yet because he was injured for about 4 weeks. And then I'm on summer vacation as a teacher. And just for the record, teachers do not get paid to be off in the summer. My contract is for 185 days. It's just spread out over 12 months. And it is, because I'm not coaching in the summer, it's always a little bit less in the summer. So we have to be pretty frugal and intentional, but also we eat more at home during the summer. So we went and got some fruit snacks. I prefer the Mott's ones because they don't have red dye 40 in them, but my kids do not like them as much. So these ones should, I believe that they did make it illegal, so they should be pulling these out, but they'll eat them. So the difference is, like, I don't want them to have red dye 40, but also I don't want to waste a ton of food. So we of course need Band-Aids because it's summertime. Cheez-Its, pouches for when we have to get to an appointment or to class or something like that early in the morning for Lincoln. They love these Lunchables, so when we go to the museum or the library or the zoo, these are a quick thing to put in our park cooler backpack that we can take with us. Greek yogurt, this is only $5 for this jumbo thing. It lasts us a couple of weeks, and it's cheaper than the individual pouches, and I can put them in small Pyrex bowls or Tupperware. It can have the same effect. I love tuna sandwiches in the summer, nice and easy. We've been buying a lot of those tiny frozen pancakes, so I was thinking I could just make some of my own and freeze them. Might be a little bit healthier and cheaper. This was $5, and just one bag of those is $5. Some little mini beef jerkies. I love these. My husband loves them. My daughter also likes them. My son is hit or miss on that, but we do like these. They're a great protein snack, especially when we're at the zoo and it's hot out there. Blueberries, these will probably be gone in about 10 minutes. Strawberries, grapes. I love this 5 cheese tortellini. It's super easy. Make half of it, and that's enough for one meal. So this is should be about 4 meals right here. We always get applesauce, but I did grab the ones with the electrolytes this time. I know that my son loves those, and it really helps when we're out in the heat of the summer. We're in Colorado, so our summers can range anywhere from 75 and gorgeous to over 100 degrees. So I always like to have this cookie dough on hand. Makes me feel like a fun mom, always being able to make cookies, but also realistic because I can't be mixing up dough every single time. It's only $9 for this huge thing. By the time I buy all the ingredients, especially with the chocolate chips, that's about the same. So kind of a toss up. More fruit. And I also grabbed, my son loves these. I ran into the store. I usually do pickup or delivery, but I saw these on that app and didn't grab them for a pickup in time. So I ran in to grab a couple of these. I put them in individual little tiny baggies. My son loves them, and they're perfect for going to the park and stuff, and I can leave them in the backpack and not worry about them getting moldy. Also some Pediasure, which is upside down, but that just helps us in the summer with our sensitive eating. We're a neurodivergent family, which means that sometimes food for us is really hard, and you might catch us eating the same meal over and over every single day for weeks, or we might like one thing one week and not the next. We just try to accommodate that. I think fed is best, whether you are a baby or 18 or a kid. So just making sure they get some food in them, trying to be as healthy as we can, but getting that in there. Of course, Goldfish, classic. They had a pretty sweet sale on a bunch of these shorts. They had, I think they were $6 And my son all of a sudden grew overnight and none of his shorts or pants fit. Also for me, I buy these every year and I usually wear them out. I'm very fair skin and sunburn very easily. I literally got sunburnt today in the parking lot, so I have to go put some aloe on for that. But these are UV shirts and they help with sun protection. And last year I just bought one and I wore it out, and then so this year I got two. I grabbed one for my husband because he's coaching outside. He coaches football and he gets sunburnt. And then just another $4 active shirt that I can wear while I'm teaching bar. One of the studios that I teach at has a dress code, so I just want to make sure that I have all of that covered. But this is our haul. What's not pictured is I did get some pot stickers. We love those. They're a quick, easy dinner or a snack. And the kids will actually eat them as well most of the time. I know I will. And then some cheese pizzas. I just had to get those into the freezer right away because it is 84 here in Denver today. And we, even driving to the car, or I'm sorry, having them in the car, they started to kind of get melty. So this is our grocery haul for now. Throughout the week, my husband works at Whole Foods, so he will grab meat and breads and other things like that throughout the week, kind of some of those higher quality products, just to kind of keep us going, plus at a discount because budget life.
I know that you think it's so important to convince everyone else that you're not boring, but it's making me feel like my skin is crawling. I keep
Artlist
pouring out
IO.
my empathy to someone I don't even see eye to eye with. I don't mind if you don't have it all together. Yeah, I get it, we're all human, but I give you an inch and you take miles. It's tragic, ruining my sanity with tales of animosity.
I think one of the things I'm most grateful for when it comes to being a teacher and being able to have some freedom in the summers is that I get to be on the same schedule as my kids. And honestly, it's such a blessing. So right here, we're just having a slow morning. I'm kind of straightening up the kitchen, but Harper's watching her little show and chatting with me while I make pancakes using all that new pancake mix. I've actually made those pancakes every single morning since I bought those. So for about 2 weeks straight, my son has requested what he calls his custom made pancakes. And I have started hiding chia seeds in them. Getting fiber is a challenge for us, so I'm always looking for sneak attack ways to do that. He loves hot dogs, for instance, and so we try to buy kind of the more elevated hot dogs, I guess, just to help. We do have the $1 Walmart ones on hand just in case that's all he'll eat, but we have kind of a lot of sneaky routes in which we add some nutrients to all of our food. And my daughter just loves to hang out and be my helper, so she's just hanging here. It did take me a while to get this video out and put together. There was just a lot that happened at the end of May. We had my grandmother's funeral in Minnesota, her memorial, and it turned out really beautifully. But, you know, those things are always really hard. I think I've talked about her a lot on my videos and some of the different things I have of hers that keep her memory alive. But those are always hard events. And it was really cool to see my family and connect. I love my aunts. They're so much fun. And we have a great time together. My cousins are a total blast. And I love that, but it is really hard. And then transitioning into summer is also always a little bit harder too, especially when you go from having a lot of structured time, a lot of things to do, to not so much. So I have to build in a lot of that structure and those kind of those systems and do all that. I also have been teaching a lot of bar classes just to get a little bit of extra income. And then I also, whilst doing all of that, graded for the advanced placement college board AP laying and composition test. I scored the argument essay and I did about 38 and a half hours of grading for them, which will be great income when it happens, but it was still a lot of work.
I swear I might die if I cared more, but you're not worth the time. You never put me up front 'cause it's your spot. Like I'm in the backseat of my own car. I'd rather cry than let you drive me crazy one more night. Climbing up somebody else's ladder just to make yourself feel just a little bigger. I don't know if I've
Artlist
seen
IO.
anything that's sadder. It's so hard to comprehend could drown, but drive me crazy, lose my mind, and I swear I might die if I cared more. But you're not worth the time. You never put me up front, 'cause it's your spot. Like I'm in the backseat of my own car. I'd rather cry than let you drive me crazy one more night. Typical emotional, sensitive and cynical. Took my sanity and sent it up the wall. Typical emotional, it's so unoriginal. I gave you the best and you just took it all. I'd rather cry than let you drive me crazy, lose my mind, and I swear I might die if I cared more.
One of the things that I absolutely love is decorating for pretty much every holiday. I think Valentine's Day is one of the ones I don't go as hard for. I do put some stuff out and I have some little pink accessories and things like that. But I don't necessarily do quite as much for that one. But the 4th of July, my mother-in-law, she used to volunteer at this, I'm not exactly sure what you would call it, but they would receive a lot of products and they would have to sort through it and determine like what could be resold or distributed to military veterans and families, and then what was just kind of stuff. And so sometimes we would be able to go and volunteer and they'd have, the extra kind of stuff that needed to be processed. And so we ended up being able to snag through that company, through that group, a bunch of great 4th of July decorations like 5 or 6 years ago. And I literally just keep using them on repeat. I like to get things that are really classic designs, really straightforward, really simple, so that way they do have kind of a timeless energy to them and I can just reuse them. So, like these little buckets, I do think I bought those myself at Target probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I just think they're really cute. So I put a little plant in it. It just adds a little something, I think, and kind of changes the decor out. I don't think you have to go as all out as we tend to do for Christmas. I love decorating for Christmas, but I think having an accent of a little American flag or a little American bucket, or I switch out the wreaths on this back door all the time. And I'm not kidding. I have had this one forever. And this is me also watching YouTube because I like it. But I've had this wreath forever. I think it's super cute and it's pretty classic Americana design. I also have bunting and I installed an American flag on the front of our house. I've never lived in a house without a flag, so I wanted to make sure to have it. These bows also got several years ago and I've never used them. I got so many that I just wait until one of them wears out before I put a new one up. And I wanted to do something with my cabinets. This week, one of my son's appointments is down close to the IKEA in Denver. So I think this week, while we are down there, we're going to stop by the IKEA and get those last two doors for this built-in so I can get that done. I just we don't really open and close these side ones very often. It's the three middle that we do open quite a bit. But these these two side ones, I wanted to put something on there just to make it kind of cute. And then I am going to paint the baseboard. I did it white because the baseboards in the living room are white, but I think it looks weird. So I am going to, when I paint those doors, come back in and paint that out as well. So that's one of my projects.
I know that you think it's so important to convince everyone else that you're not boring, but it's making me feel like my skin is crawling. I keep pouring out my empathy to someone I don't even see eye to eye with. I don't mind if you don't have it all together. Yeah, I get it, we're all human, but I give you an inch and you take miles. It's tragic, ruining my sanity with tales of animosity. I'd rather cry. Somebody else's ladder just to make yourself feel just a little bigger. I don't know if I've seen anything that's sadder. It's so hard to comprehend how you don't even understand. Stepping on me without even trying. Never seen somebody get so good at lying.
I'm not sure what everybody else's opinion on the kitchen is, but I feel like I am always cleaning the kitchen nonstop, especially in the summer, because I last year I had at least a ton of paper plates and I just used those all summer. But this summer, I mean, it is honestly pretty wasteful. And so I was like, we'll only use our regular plates. And oh my gosh, I am loading and unloading the dishwasher 2 or 3 times a day because we make all of our meals at home. We don't, I mean, I think we've gone out to Chick-fil-A maybe twice, and we've grabbed a couple rounds of McDonald's using the McDonald's app points. And, if I'm picking up my son from his ninja camp and then going straight to teaching bar, I do have to feed them in between. And if I didn't remember to pack them something, we're stopping there. But we don't really go out a lot, so we eat at home. And I'm just always cleaning the kitchen. And we are trying to kind of stretch the lives of the appliances we currently have, since there's so many other kind of things that need to happen. In my next video, I'll talk about the fence situation and some of the other projects we've got going on. But, we're trying to stretch it out, but this dishwasher does not do a fabulous job. So you can only load it about 75%. Otherwise, stuff just does not come clean, even with rinsing it and pre-washing some of it. It just doesn't. It's from probably 2000. I think it's all a matching set, which is cool, but it's getting older and it's a heavy use appliance. So I'm gonna try and deep clean it and take the filter out again and do all of that and see if I can get it kind of reset. We've also been using the packets or little pod things because I had them from our old house, which had an almost new dishwasher. So I'm trying to use them up. So I do think that's part of the problem. I'm going to switch to the liquid and see if that works better with this particular dishwasher. I really don't want to spend $700 on it. I am trying to outsource and like Facebook Marketplace a lot of things. So I'm trying to do that with our decor, with furniture. I'm keeping my eye out for a very specific fridge that I want for our little fridge space there, because the fridge and the dishwasher are probably the first ones that need to be replaced. The stove works really, really well. It's just old looking, but it's not bad. And it's white, and I do want white appliances again. I know that that's not everybody's favorite, but the stainless steel in that small of a space is just going to be constantly dirty. We had stainless steel at our last house, and it was just always looked dirty and gross, more so than any of the white appliances I've ever had. So I want to keep the white appliances if possible. I also think they just look better in the kitchen design that I have going, with more of the warm tones and the brushed gold and things like that. I mean, it's not the worst case scenario if we end up with stainless steel. I will be eternally grateful, and I'm super grateful right now that the house did come with all the appliances. The appliances do work, and that, we can utilize them. And if we can get another 2 or 3 years, that would be awesome, because we just have so many things that have to be done. So many little things. We got a great deal on the house, and it's got great bones, but there's just so many functional things, the stuff that you can't see when you walk in the door, that have to be done. Not the fun stuff. But we'll get to the fun stuff soon. We're closing in on a year of being in this house. It'll be a year in September. And so I think then we'll really kind of get moving on some things. Also, those circles on my back are from cupping. I go to a pelvic floor therapist once a month, and it helps with my migraines. I get pretty serious migraines. I actually had one in South Dakota when we were there for my grandmother's memorial, and it was, debilitating. My sister had to like 100% take care of me, help me brush my teeth, everything. It was really awful. So I go to that therapy, which has really helped, especially if you've had kids. But I think anybody with a pelvic floor should go to pelvic floor therapy. And that's my hot take on that. But we're getting the kitchen reset once again. And for the record, it needs to be reset right in this moment as I record this again. So always cleaning the kitchen.
Typical emotional, it's so unoriginal. I gave you the best and you just took it all. I'd rather cry than let you drive me crazy, lose my mind, and I swear I might die if I cared more. But
Music licensing reimagined.
So the kids and I did go thrifting yesterday. We like to call it treasure hunting. And we were able to pick up a few kind of fun things. I was not feeling well yesterday. I got a 24-hour stomach bug, or I got into one of my allergens. I have a pretty extreme tree nut allergy. And some tree nuts will kind of give you that like hungover, sick to your stomach flu feeling, and some will lead to anaphylaxis. Not sure what it was. I'm pretty sure hopefully it was just a stomach bug, but I was able to still get the kids to their doctor's appointment and then go thrifting we only went for about an hour and found some good stuff. There's a Goodwill by our house that has really great clothing options and home decor options. Not so much like furniture or that kind of like those larger things. Sometimes it's hit or miss, but usually it has pretty good clothing. It is in a little bit more affluent area. So I did get some books yesterday. These are all for my classroom. We do a reading challenge to see which class can read the most books by the end of the year. And these were some popular books that came up quite a bit. Nicholas Sparks is kind of making a resurgence. He's got great classic stories. I think I had 6 girls read The Sun Is Also a Star. And a lot of kids will read a dystopian their freshman year, and then they like to kind of revisit those their junior year. And to me, Hunger Games was the #1 book that was consumed in my classroom this year. I actually lost several copies, so I need to get a few more of that. And The Lovely Bones. Those were the 2 most popular books in my classroom. I used to have a really gigantic classroom library of over 1,000 books, but when I moved to my new school, I was under the impression I would not get a real classroom of my own, which wasn't the case, so I ended up giving away all of those books. So now I'm just kind of rebuilding, but I'm going to focus on just like the high readers. We have an incredible library at our school, an incredible public library system as well. So I don't necessarily need to have as many of those on hand. So just kind of keeping it to the really popular ones, cycling them out. I do need to get another bookcase for in there though. I also found these clogs. I've wanted a pair for a really long time, and these are the Target knockoffs. They do need to be cleaned up. I have a magic eraser ready. It's got some like denim staining, and I just need to clean up the insides. Secondhand shoes don't bother me very much if they're super clean, or can be super clean. So these are all kind of a silicone plastic. Totally can clean it up. I also found a cookbook stand for $5.99, but it was half off, so it was $2.50 or $3. And I literally just ordered one for my friend for her bridal shower for, I think it was $25. So I was able to find one for me for quite a bit less. It doesn't have like the, splash guard kind of plastic piece, but that's okay. It's really cute. I found another cool vessel, and I like the blue for summer, and in the fall I think it kind of works well with the colors in the house. I really love like this clay terracotta kind of material. It's super warm, and I think with the antique gold and different colors that I have in the kitchen, it kind of adds some warmth. That's one thing I've been struggling with, is it's not as warm as it used to be. It used to be too much, and now maybe I've gone too far the other way. And then I found my son another water bottle for school. He tends to lose his water bottles at school quite a bit. So when I can find like a decent one that he can operate independently easily without having to get the teacher's help, I try and snag them on clearance or at thrift stores, and then you can just wash those, right? For clothes, I'm always on the hunt for work clothes, so I found just a nice simple DKNY white t-shirt for $2.99. I need to kind of deep clean and oxy soak this one, but it's also, I think it's super cute. It'll be great with a pair of khaki trousers, or kind of dresses up a pair of denim, and I can wear that to work. It's modest, but it's also professional. It just needs to deep clean. I found this vest, which also would look cute with that same white t-shirt and black trousers for work. It is a Shein, which I know isn't like great quality, but we're at least keeping it out of the dump, and I had it in my cart on Shein anyway, if I'm being honest. I love those kind of looks. I remember in the late 2000s, like 2010 to 2015, the vests like that were really cool, and I had a ton of them, and then they phased out, so I got rid of them. It's always how it works. And for my husband, I grabbed just a nice, really thick, brand new black t-shirt for him. He always needs t-shirts. He kind of just wears his clothes out, so I like to grab them when I can. And then I also found this Columbia, so it's a legit Columbia sun protection shirt. My parents swear by these. They ride motorcycle and have e-bikes and do different things, but it has like ventilation, UV 50 protection, and it was only $8.99. So I think they run usually for 40 to 50 each for this particular brand. And if he doesn't like it, I know that my brother, who's very outdoorsy, will love it as well. So we also Harper got a Barbie bed, or a doll bed. It's one of those American Girl knockoff ones from Walmart for a couple dollars. It's a pink bed. She's super excited about it. She tried to carry it around the store, but it was almost bigger than her. And then we got a couple of Nerf guns, and that has been a ton of fun because we actually have some Nerf guns, and we already had some bullets and things, or some ammo, not bullets, but some of the Nerf guns, you know what I mean. We had some of those already so they could play that, and they had a lot of fun last night playing with those. And in Lincoln's new room, we are going to build a Nerf gun display just using some simple pegboard. And then in another clip, I'll show you the furniture that we did find on Facebook Marketplace. So I'm always hunting, always looking for things. We really want to have a house that looks high-end without the price tag. So let me know, did you find any great thrift hunts, or what was the best thing that you've ever found? I found a painting for my sister's new house at a thrift store. It's actually the same one I found this stuff at. That online, somebody was selling another edition of it, or another copy of it, for like $60,000. We haven't found anything to like authenticate it. It's a gorgeous textured painting of the Arizona kind of sequoia, or whatever the cactus is, and it's gorgeous, and it's purples and pinks. It's kind of those 80s kind of purples and pinks hues. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if it's really worth $60K, but I told her I'd get a cut of that since I was the one that found it. Anyway, let me know, what is your best thrift find, or what is one thing that you regret having left at the thrift store and wish you'd brought home with you? I definitely thought that you could see me in most of my thrift haul, but again, I was not feeling super well, so trust me, you are not missing out on much. At least I talk with my hands, so that's something. I'm just going to really quickly, now that I've got the decorations up, we have the dishes done, and we have, all of that stuff put away from the thrift store. We are going to just do a quick cleanup of the tile in here. I think I will probably schedule another tile cleaning with our floor cleaning guy and just kind of do that annually. If nothing else, just to keep these tiles looking like less terrible. Again, I do not like this floor, but we're working with it. I think the colors we picked for the kitchen make it work pretty well. And we're just using the Tinyco just to vacuum and mop. On the next video, I'm going to show you some of the things I did in the bathroom, reorganizing and decluttering some of the bathroom. And then hopefully we will get started on updating and customizing Lincoln's room. So I do have to buy a few things for that. I need to get like a leveler, I need to get some wood trim, I have plenty of paint, but I need more painter's tape, things like that. But I'm really looking forward to starting to bring some character into this house and just make it more our own. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked what you saw, please be sure to like and subscribe. Drop a comment or an emoji in the comments. Let me know you stayed the whole way through, and I will see you next time.
Typical emotional, it's so unoriginal. I gave you the best and you just took it all.